Laura, what a putting display by Minjee Lee down the stretch to get that win at the U.S. Women's Open. This is her 12th start and 11th made cut. They seem to like it for good reason.
Featured groups better to miss way right or left in that sparser fescue.
What's Minjee got in?
Just 231. She can easily reach this green. You want to land this about 10 to 15 yards short of the green. You utilize the down slope with the front hole location. This is coming out low and fast.
Oh, that was the right idea. She wanted to hit it right, but just hit it.
Going for her is that she's hitting this shot back into the wind. She will not be able to see the spot in which she's trying to land the ball, which is right over the corner of the green on the left side. You want to try and hit this shot almost like a long bunker. Put the club face wide open. Make sure you have really even tempo. Get this to pop up.
Yeah, she opened that up like it was a bunker shot. Really creating a lot of loft. Took a nice big swing with soft hands and put herself in a great position to be able to be a little bit more aggressive with that putt coming back as well.
Another look at what you were describing.
Yeah, you can see she even kind of put her hands a little bit lower as well, which would even help pop the ball up even more. Kind of one of those classic flop shots. Minjee is just so known for her ball striking. And when she
how quick the greens are and how tentative it can be on the greens.
Well, the greens can just also get away so quickly. We've seen that the first two rounds, that hit just over ridges or just a little bit too hard, then they can just absolutely slingshot past the hole.
This was an excellent leave from Minjee after being over the green into the rough. Going to break slightly to her right. This long putter has helped with getting her backstroke more straight back and straight through.
From 12 feet, and she buries it.
Oh. And I've noticed too with her broomstick putter that she's gotten so much better with tempo as well. Her putting stats, biggest improvement. Back in 2022, when she was winning and won the Women's U.S. Open, she was 154th in strokes gained.
Just play this right, left.
Just like a little off the 3/4.
Yeah, perfect.
This angle's a little easier for Minjee. She can see a little more of the flag. The ball's going to be above her feet, which is going to lend to a draw. This will actually help her. She can be more aggressive to the flag and then know it can curve left.
Yeah, that's a great example of how difficult the shot can be when it is blind.
That was just a moment ago. Minjee Lee barely inside 30 feet.
Putting back up the hill for Minjee. This putt will turn to her left. She got a pretty good look at what her putt will do after watching Lottie's snap at the hole.
Got some pace.
And that is really unusual for Minjee. Her pace was just incredible yesterday. And this hole seems to have kind of befuddled the first two putts that we've had with Lottie and Minjee. Lottie really did not read it correctly with the line, and then Minjee with the pace.
Lot left for Minjee Lee's par.
It's going to be hard for Minjee to give this enough pace after running her first one way by, but how about that?
Good answer for Minjee Lee.
Well, 45 feet left, really uphill.
Here's Minjee Lee.
The green is sectioned into quadrants. You really want to land it just short of the flag.
Aggressive approach.
Definitely a better spot. Just a product of great course knowledge, knowing you can be aggressive to this flag, and if you're a little long, you're just fine compared to other hole locations on this screen towards the front where long would be very difficult. Uphill the whole way, it's going to break a good amount to her right. Even though Minjee two-putted on the last, I would technically call it a one-putt, just given that she had to make a 20-foot comebacker after racing her first putt by. So she has a great idea of this range of putts.
It's been so impressive watching her with this broomstick putter, because it's a really difficult transition to go from her traditional length that she's played her entire career, identifying that that was the weakest part of her game and knowing that she needed to make a change, and then implementing it during the off season, doing a lot of practice, putting a ton of work in, and then bringing it out into competition. First event back, finishing tied for 4th at the Hilton Tournament of Champions. And
Short par putt for Minjee.
With how well Minjee has been striking the ball and her putting today, I wouldn't be surprised if she makes a thread up that leaderboard. Given her dominant performance at Pine Needles 3 years ago, she's one to keep in mind.
well, last year, that's how I felt with her going into the final round of the Women's U.S. Open. And then she finished with a 78. But that was when she...
Minjee Lee settling into her second shot.
With the wind out of the right, I like taking something right at this flag, 135 yards. There is a slope on the right she can use. This is headed left of the flag.
Oh, and that's going to be a fairly tricky putt coming back, because there's a knob that she's going to need to navigate up and over.
Nearly identical career resume for Minjee Lee. She has 2 majors, 10 LPGA Tour wins.
Truly remarkable. And then you have Minjee's younger brother, Min Woo Lee, who got his first win on the PGA Tour at the Houston Open. I was on the call for that on the world feed. Got to interview him after. It was truly remarkable to watch him finish out and close out Scottie Scheffler, who was just lurking behind him. Minjee definitely has the upper hand, though, with her 2 majors and her 10 titles. This is going to be a test of her lag putting, especially after racing it by on the second, navigating a couple of ridges.
How does she judge the speed? And that creeps by 7-8 feet.
And that's a really good indicator of how difficult that putt was, with just the ridges and the hills between her and the cup. So that was putted really well. That was a good stroke. That was good pace, and it still was almost impossible to get it super close.
Minjee Lee currently 5 back of the leader, Mao Saigo, who has just teed off that final group play in the first. 7 feet for par. These are the putts that'll keep her in it.
It sure will. I loved her routine there, just making sure she had her start line exactly where she wanted. This looks like it's going to move a little right.
Minjee is just absolutely on fire with those longer putts to save for par. On.
Minjee Lee second.
Completely blind shot. They were spinning a while trying to find a spot into the bunker to aim at.
And that, although it says on the pin sheet it is 10 paces on, it is really close to the best collegiate player, and she had won so prolifically this season. It's kind of easy to compare yourself to especially if it's your teammate. But Lottie's got to be very happy with the fact that she was so consistently in contention in college. But it'd be easy to compare yourself to your teammate.
Over to Minjee Lee.
Coming back down the hill slightly, Minjee will have to be mindful of her pace. This will also be turning to her left.
Ideal pace.
And talking about Minwoo and Minjee, they also have probably two of the most different personalities. It is so funny. Minwoo is so outgoing, and Minjee.
All right, Minjee Lee.
Primarily crosswind. I don't feel much hurt. This is starting nice and fading towards the hole.
Barely is hanging on.
Minjee Lee.
This will turn left early and then straighten out at the hole.
We're going to step aside. You're watching feature group coverage of the third round of the U.S. Women's Open presented by Ally. It's like she was touching the left side of the cup.
Possible. Maybe the group or groups ahead didn't do a very clean job of putting the stick back or even a little damage into the cup.
Probably just confirming that she can tap that down.
She's got 13 feet for par.
I don't see a ton of break in this putt. Where her angle is, it feels pretty straight. I like inside the hole with a little bit of acceleration.
The edge.
She's definitely been making that putter work for it today. A lot of that length putts to save par, and that's the first one to not drop. Makes a bogey.
Even a third. We have caught up with Minjee Lee.
113 yards for Minjee. Lottie Woe just went and doesn't know that she's over the green. She was surprised no one clapped. Blind shot into the screen. You have to land this short of the flag.
Location 19 pieces on, 8 off the left side. Pretty solid shot for Minjee Lee below the cup.
The flag's in a subtle bowl. If you go too far right, about 5 paces, it will feed off.
And for 13 coming into this hole.
Minjee Lee will be next to play, putting below the hole. She can give this some pace. She has been quite aggressive on her putts. It's worked out for her, except the last, where she wasn't able to convert her par.
Yeah. 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 Just the first half a second. I think so, yeah.
We'll see if 11 feet 11 inches is the lucky number for Minjee Lee.
I see this moving slightly right, George.
Oh, that was just so well struck. You hear the pop off the club face.
Birdie's both the par fives on the front nine.
Great little back.
Touch left, perfect.
Now that we're almost through the front nine, I would say these are the toughest conditions the players are facing. The greens are the firmest they've been. The wind is the strongest. Back into off the left. Lower flighted ball from Minjee. Similar line to Wode.
Yeah, and this 8th and 9th hole, the first round with the hardest 2 holes on the golf course. Not quite as difficult yesterday, but definitely a hard stretch of golf.
Frontside playing a shot harder than the back nine so far this week at the U.S. Women's Open. Different hole, Minjee Lee on 8.
That was more just a misread on line. I think she was expecting it to break a little bit more right than it did, but really well paced putt.
Looks like Minjee will get right to it. Close out the 8th. Good start, 1 under through 8 on the round for Minjee Lee.
Just didn't hit it far enough to the right that it nestled down. Now Minjee Lee on the 9th hole, very difficult short par 3. Put a lot of spin on that, got it to stop. We'll have a nice look at Birdie coming up.
Minjee Lee, 9th green.
I do not see a lot of break.
Minjee saw something else.
Yeah, and it, just like Amelia said, just did not break. Stayed right out there.
Playing 43 pin at the most right now.
Minjee Lee's hit 7 out of 9 greens to this point. Approach shot to the 10th. Will it use the slope? Come back? Nope. Will be a missed green by all of 6 inches.
And very quick putts coming up. The GM Eagle, so big week for her, just even position on the tour.
Amelia, what do we got here on 10?
A downhill double breaker for Minjee Lee. I would play it like a straight putt. If you're going to err anywhere, play the break to the right.
Just about 4 feet for Minjee Lee's par putt.
It's truly been remarkable, the adjustment in Minjee's putter and how much better she's stroking this. 100% inside 8 feet.
Well, I remember watching her at the Amundi Evian in 2021 when she won, and not being super comfortable watching her putt. It was always not...
Yeah, I do, Minjee. Yeah, I do. I think there's quite a bit more left-right there than down, yeah. Okay.
Even though this flag is 19 paces on for Minjee, 136 yards, I like closer to a 125 shot. The green pitches from front to back, so it will kick forward.
And Minjee is so precise with her yardages, with her iron shots. We've been talking so much about her putting today because it's improved so tremendously, but the strength of Minjee's game is her iron play. She is so good.
How much is this going to move for Minjee Lee?
I don't see a whole lot, a little bit to the right. Left edge at the most. Just really excellent approach play for Minjee, using the slope behind the green to be able to work this back towards the hole. She's made every putt inside of 8 feet. This is a distance for her I like.
And so does she. Minjee, I predict some really good things from her for the rest of the season moving forward.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's 3/4.
Well, 3/4, 85.
I think that's probably good.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
And the TV tower's good?
TV tower's perfect.
Just 104 yards for Minjee Lee. She's done an excellent job at understanding the green complexes coming in from the fairway. I like landing this left side.
Short and right.
No. It's just going to go down
I like the decision with putter for Minjee Lee. With how tight the fringes are, putter is much easier to control. There's not a lot of break in this. I like center at the hole. Make sure you have enough pace.
Has enough pace.
Yeah, with how good she's putting today, definitely the correct play, being able to hit nice and firm up that hill. Thought she had a chance there, but a very relaxed tap in. And a great angle here to see how she could take a very confident stroke, played it a few inches out on the left, and it just kept from falling in. But trying to come back,
That's going to pitch it 5 short.
just rolled through it a little bit.
When you get these tricky hole locations, shaping the ball is really important. You can't just hit your stock shot. You have to hit the shot that's going to land softly on the green, be right with the hole location. I kind of like a draw against the wind here.
All over it.
Sorry. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Minjee Lee, another birdie luck.
To make her second birdie in the last 4 holes. Not a lot of movement.
played that almost dead straight, and the subtle break fooled her a bit.
She'll stay 2 back.
Both make it when someone dropped out.
Par 5 time, Minjee Lee.
245 to carry the bunkers. Taking it over those. If you get in the fairway, you can definitely go for it in 2.
Well, we showed the graphic that she was 10 for 10 hitting the fairways, so it seemed like a foregone conclusion.
His ball ended up.
And Minjee Lee, big tee shot, 291.
Excellent tee shot, just 181 yards in. Want to err towards the left side. This needs to go a little. Careful, though.
Will it hold?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that was looking so good for a moment there, and we have seen this play out again and again and again. You can see how many divots are also
Pass hole high. If it catches enough speed, it should catch that backstop and come back to 20 feet. This is just a very hard shot, though. You can't get too cute with it.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, and playing it longer is just also a much higher percentage play.
I think so, yeah.
So you think to see it at that 45? Is it all the way up there, 45?
Yes. Yeah. Just all the way up.
48.
It's 48 with the up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just hitting it that far. Okay.
This is a similar shot to what Minjee had on the first hole, just a longer swing. Want to treat it like a long bunker shot, club face slightly open, not too much though, and take a big swing.
And they were playing it long. It's 45 to the flag. You could hear them saying to play at 48 yards. So she was planning on hitting it past the pin and using that backstop, just like Amelia predicted. Really good. Now even looking at a makeable bird.
All right, Amelia. We got a birdie putt for Minjee Lee. She's at 22 feet. How far do you think she's going to actually play it?
Oh, probably 4. That cup is looming just above the false front. I wouldn't be surprised if this is short.
She hit that really solid. What she did was pretend like the hole was maybe only 4. That actually the hole was 4 feet in front of her, and just took a very solid stroke to that 4-foot mark and just let gravity do the rest. And that's where, if you're Minjee and you just walk off with a 5, and then Andrea makes the
The wind has just started to pick up for Minjee with the wood in hand. She may be able to get to the front of the green. I'm telling you, it might be drivable, but if you walk away with par, you could be gaining shots on the field by the end of the day.
Wow.
Yeah, the flag is sitting in all the way back right, and it's been so tough for the players to find the bottom of the cup. This is left.
Yeah, that can always be a result, too, of just sitting for so long. You know, watching what bad things can happen, and that is...
Yeah, I think there you go. Yeah. As close to kind of this one as possible is probably the... Yeah, what do you think? That comes in here? Should stop.
Okay. The art of dropping.
There is something to it now that it's not from shoulder length either. There is a little bit more to trying to have a good drop and give yourself a good line and lie, if that's possible.
Minjee runs up the hill. And we're going to have to do some serious camera work once she actually hits her second shot. But for those watching, what would characterize a good second shot for her here.
Yep. There is a front quadrant. That would be my landing spot.
And on that front quadrant, can she hold the green, or that's just where you land it? It's going to release from there and just figure out where you want to play your third from.
Yeah, you can hold the green in that quadrant because it kind of slopes up. If you go anywhere right coming out of this fescue, I would be very concerned of it rolling off the green to the right.
A little bit of an upslope. If it gets up and over it, great. If not, it's not going to be bad.
Can you stand there? I'm just going to get my line.
Yeah.
Exactly what Michael Patterson was talking about, trying to find the upslope in the green.
That's the pin.
That's the pin?
Yeah, that's the pin.
Takes some serious player caddy teamwork here.
It's also a very, very delicate shot because if you bail out to the left, then you have a very difficult two-tiered putt. I like where they're trying to go. Directly in line with the flag, if you finish, would give you the easiest look.
Yeah. 43 is the front edge from here. We'll land at 50-ish.
Okay.
Which is good. It's probably going to keep us just below it. Okay.
Second shot.
That was perfect.
Oh, come on, get over that little bridge. Oh, really good. From having that can be completely blind, also just taking a lot of time. I always felt very awkward when a drop. I was very self-conscious about taking a lot of time with drops, and she did a very good job of not rushing that shot.
And showing off the foot speed now.
Yeah, now she can rush. Now she can rush to go mark it, but did such a good job of collecting herself, took a sip of water, and hitting that upslope in that quadrant that we were talking about. And it
Well, to start off on Saturday, it's really opened the door for players like the one in this group. Minjee got a perfect read from Andrea. This is left edge.
Loses that on the low side. It's a 3-putt bogey. Minjee Lee 3 back and 3 under.
she's been so solid in that range, even though that's by no means.
Minjee Lee.
One of the toughest greens to hit. This back portion's only about 20 feet wide. Minjee just hit a soft spot in that green. That's why I didn't skip up.
Flying at the pins.
Lee's tee shot in the air on 17.
In this group, it's a nice little world #1 amateur group. I was thinking
Just short of that plateau to get into the upslope.
and she hit that nice and high too.
It does run away there over. The specific part about her putting is the fact that if she's missed the putt, it's usually past the hole 3 or 4 feet. She makes the comebacker. It shows that she's very confident on the green. She's not afraid of having that 4-footer coming back. This one is going to challenge her green reading. It's going to break pretty severely from right to left. Might want to straighten out at the hole.
Doesn't have the pace.
Yeah, her pace has been so good today. I'm even thinking early on in the round when she had to make those 8-foot putts to save par, and then also a handful for birdie. It was just so solid. It looked like it was automatic.
Little 2-footer remains for Minjee Lee. Amelia, first 2 days, there were 59 birdies on the 18th hole. Obviously, smaller field, only 60 made the cut. There have just been 3 today. Why has there been such a big change?
That is very surprising. Well, I've just gotten to the 18th, so just looking at it now, it's a tricky tee shot, hard hole location today. When you hit the fairway, it makes it a lot easier. What's difficult about this tee shot is you need to take it up the right side. Bunkers guard the right side. 250 to get past the right bunkers.
Over to Minjee.
Minjee has a wonderful angle into this hole. Still need to be very precise. If you're a little right or a little left, it will fall off to the edge of the green.
Fairly solid third.
Wanted to hit it way really far left. Now after a massive wait, Minjee putting for birdie.
Third round 71 for Minjee Lee. As it stands at the moment, 4 behind the leader, Saigo.